Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Shape Your Story. My name is Nathan.
And I'm Lisa.
Awesome, Lisa. So we've gone through a couple of really great episodes already. What are we going to learn today?
So we've already talked about how to do character, how to do faces and bodies. So if anybody's watching this video and hasn't seen those episodes, take a look back in the archive and you'll find out how to create expressions and body language without having to draw stick figures, which I think are dehumanizing and horrible. Okay, so today what we're going to talk about that's character. Now we're going to talk about concepts. And concepts is just a fancy way of saying icons, symbols, shapes, and things like that. So we're probably going to do this in a few different parts, but the first thing we're going to do is concepts that use circles. So anybody can draw a circle. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. And so what you and I are going to do together are going to experiment with how many different things that we can make out of circles. And then we'll take it a little further and connect some words with those symbols.
Cool. Awesome. Let's get started. Now, we started with faces the last time, right? So sort of a circle. So we're sort of good at things that look like circles.
Yeah. So I'm going to go down to my pad now. And so as you know, all the stuff we're going to be talking about in this series, any tools, it works with any tool. So it can be digital, it can be analog. Right now, we're just going to use plain old pen and paper. And so what I'm going to do, and what I'd like you to do, Nathan, also, we're going to do it together in a second, but I'm just going to draw a bunch of circles. Because of the orientation of my paper, I'm going to draw 9, I think. That's going to be, So actually, this is a great exercise to do as an icebreaker if you're going to just a way of doing something with people in a meeting, and then ask them to draw. It's actually an exercise called 30 circles. We're not going to put you through 30 circles today, but it's a way of coming up with sort of creative ideas and just kind of forcing yourself to come up with new ideas. But just for today, I've got these 9 circles here. So we can either do this together, Nathan, or I can do this by myself. How would you like to do this?
Why don't you show us how to do it, because it'll be better for folks that are watching, and then we'll do it again as well.
Okay, so this is an exercise to show you how many different things you can make out of a circle and things that mean other things. So, and anybody can draw a few lines coming out of a circle, and now you have, sunshine, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. It still reads as sunshine, right? Another one that I like is you can just draw like a few squiggles in a circle, and now you have the earth. And these are not geographically correct, by the way. All right.
I was trying to figure out what country that was. Obviously, that's not.
Yeah, these are countries that I made up. So now I'm just going to actually improvise. I really didn't rehearse this. So now I'm just going to draw a little triangle in the bottom of this circle and maybe a little string coming out. And suddenly you have a balloon.
Cool.
Right? If I wanted to just do this and then just put some dots on it, just because I feel like pizza today, that can be a pizza. Of course, any kind of a ball, is you can do that. That's like a tennis ball, sort of. You could do a wheel.
So like the pizza, but no circle in the center. Exactly.
The wheel, that's the hub of the wheel. And so obviously, you're kind of jumping ahead. This can symbolize lots of different things, and these spokes can symbolize different things. If I put a bigger circle in the middle, I can start to have a donut, but what I really like to do is draw like a couple of lines here and a couple of lines there, and then maybe another line, and now we suddenly have like a life preserver, which can mean help, right? Now I'm running out of ideas. Any kind of a fruit. This could be like a tomato. I'm not sure why you would draw a tomato, but I just drew a tomato. And then let's see. Here's a little fun thing. I'm going to draw a little shadow in here, and then this is just fancy. Now I've made a big hole in the paper.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, just to show you how you can be a little bit creative with different things. And there's lots more. In fact, sometimes what people will do when I give them the 30 circles exercise, some people will put 2 of them together and make it like a bicycle. two wheels of a bicycle and then draw a bicycle on top. So the point is you can do lots of different things with a circle.
Yeah, the one on the left at the bottom could be a tire too. If right before.
Yeah, it could be a tire, and especially if you wanted to make it a tire. I don't know if you can still see this. You can.
Yeah.
If you wanted to make it a tire, and then it could be like, it's a flat tire. I mean, you could make it like it's blowing out or something like that. I've had people say, "Oh, you could make the balloon. Here's a pin to pop the balloon."
Yeah.
So you're starting to tell a story. So these are pictures that either can be taken completely literally, or some of them can mean lots of different things, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later.
That's great. That's awesome.
Okay. So do you want to try it?
Yeah, let's do it. All right.
So just draw a bunch of circles.
So 9, right? That's what we decided.
Well, you can 9 or 12 or however many. Yeah, okay.
Well, let's not try to overdo it here. Let me see if.
All right, let's not overdo it. Okay. All right. So
what was the first one? The first one was sun.
The first one was the sunshine, right?
I'm trying to do this from memory.
See, look, that reads as the sun. The second one was the earth. So you can do whatever you want.
No, I'm just trying to go from memory. That's terrible.
Okay.
I'm probably better off actually drawing the right geography on there. And then I think you said life preserver.
Oh, that looks great. Look that reads perfectly.
I've already forgotten. Oh, the tomato. Now this one may be somewhat interesting because I think you just.
This is like a memory game.
Like that, right?
This is great. Yeah.
Wow. Why can't I remember any of that? I think you said basketball. So that would be.
There was a ball there. There was a ball somewhere. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
What were the others?
You could do a pizza.
Oh, that's right. Pizza would be easy. So. This is why I would probably not be good at making pizzas. You can draw it.
This is a situation where colors would help a little bit in having things read. But
this is true. This is true. But this is okay. This is this. You got to start
that's
somewhere.
The wheel. Yep.
Wheel.
And I think there was a balloon. So make a little tiny triangle and then a string. Yeah.
Right. And then you also had a.
Oh yeah, I had a pin coming out in case you were going to burst the balloon. That means.
Pin. Would you do like something like that?
You could
show the indentation.
Or you could, it's like someone's about to pop your balloon. That means something completely different, by the way. But we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, letting the air out of the balloon, popping the balloon.
Yeah. And then at the bottom, I did like a little. This is a little complicated. I did a kind of a shadow inside the circle to make it like there's a hole in the paper. Oh yeah, see that's nice. You draw better than you think, Nathan.
That does look like an egg, but while you were talking about this, and you said like this is a dark hole, but also punching holes through your plan to figure out what are you not thinking of as you're building your plan.
That's true. Or looking through a hole in the wall, you could draw an eye in the middle there, and someone's like peeking in.
Oh,
like if you draw a big eye, a big eye, like an eyeball.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now it's like
now somebody's spying on you. That's someone spying, looking through the wall.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you see how many things they were all the same shape when you started, right?
Right.
But so people are like, okay, so I can doodle these things. What? So what? All right. So here's where I feel like this is like super super magical. So I'm going to go back to my pad here. So let's say you were drawing, a picture of the earth, and like you don't have to be like, I'm just going to do a couple of squiggles. Look, okay. I don't know what countries those are. Now, so what, right? Why do I care? Well, it depends on what words you put with it. So if I put this word with this picture, now we have a story, right? Now it means something, right? So now I might have, maybe I'll put a little airplane or something like that. Now we've got that story, and we could start to talk about, do I need a passport to go? What's the environmental impact of this travel? We can start to talk about those kinds of things. Or I can draw the same picture, pretty much the same picture, and we could be talking about, I'm just going to use this, what's going on things right now, and we can talk about people. We talked about people. I'm going to draw my star people here.
All right.
And now we have a different message. And we can be talking about ways to help with dialogue between people, or, increasing compassion around the world, or things like that. But see, these are the same symbol.
Yeah.
But depending on what other things you put with it, it means something completely different. So your pictures don't have to live all by themselves. They don't have to read by themselves. You can still use words, but the picture helps to kind of anchor the meaning. If I still have room for another one, let's do another Earth, and let's talk about something a little bit more business-like. And I can say something like that. And now we can talk about, how we're going to get, here's a little preview of our squares as a little truck. How we're going to get things from there to here. Maybe again we have an airplane. And we can be talking about, how are we going to deliver things around the world. So 3 completely different meanings with the same symbol. That's just circles. There's the other shapes that we can use that also have a lot of implications in business. But what I wanted you to see is that by being able to draw one thing, you can actually tell many different stories with one thing. The balloon is a great one, because without the pin, the balloon can be about lifting people's spirits, or it could be about having a party, right? But once you bring the pin in, it's like, it's danger. It's something's about to pop. It's like the bubble in the stock market or something like that. And so now you have a whole different meaning with the same picture. Yeah,
that's great. So that's good. That's good homework for everyone for this episode, right? So we talked about circles today. It's getting interesting, right? Like I'm curious as to what's going to happen like later on in the episodes to see all these things come together, because I think that's kind of where it gets really interesting. So for those of you that are watching, first of all, thanks for joining us. But secondly, do some homework, right? Go listen to this episode, listen to another one. Practice makes perfect, like always. And any closing arguments, Lisa? Are we good?
Well, what you just said is really true, Nathan. All of these things don't mean anything by themselves, but when they all come together, they form sort of a language. So what you're getting right now is sort of the alphabet of this language. And then once you have the alphabet, then you can start to really tell a story.
Awesome. Looking forward to the next one. Thanks, everyone, for joining us on another episode of Shape Your Story. Lisa, thanks again. We'll see you all next time.
Bye.